Zane here with some more chord melody, and that was a longer form lick that is really just a bebop line. If we played it, it's an A7 lick, I should say. So essentially it's just this. But I've put the melody almost exclusively on the B and E strings. The last phrase, this part, I had to harmonize on the G in order for it to just fit under the fingers. So there's a couple of things I want to talk about this. I've had a few questions about how I play this kind of style. I did a video earlier which looked more at the theory behind it, but now I'm actually going to break down a lick. So what we've got, the melody for this first part starts on the 5th degree of an A7 chord. That is an E. So therefore we would harmonize it with an A7 or an A9 or any kind of A7 fingering that you can think of. The one I've chosen to use is this one here. 4th fret A, 5th fret D, 4th fret G, 5th fret B. Looks like a half diminished chord. It is a half diminished chord, but with an A in the root note, it's an A9. In order to get the phrasing right and play this quickly, I'm just going to strum this chord and I slide it up a tone. The reason why I slide it up a tone is because the 6th degree of, which is the next note in the lick, the 6th degree is often harmonized either with a diminished chord, because it was part of like the 5, or it's harmonized as a 13th chord. But for ease, when playing this kind of quickly, I'm going to take the same fingering and slide up. And I take my middle finger off. The reason why I do that is because I want to imply that diminished sound without actually changing my fingers. And it's so quick you don't really notice. Then I go to the next part, which is the 7th. I like harmonizing the 7th rather than like this tricky fingering of an A9 chord. I just harmonize as an E minor 7 chord. And the reason I like that is because I'm actually playing, if I had an A in the root note, I'm playing like a 9th chord with a suspension in it. So I get a nice tension note that will be resolved, because part of the beauty about chord melody stuff is it's not just the top melody that you're worrying about. You get these beautiful resolutions and these inner harmonies that move if you work out cool voicings. So I get to this one. The next note in the lick is going to be the 9th. We have this. That's what we have so far. I could harmonize it with a diminished chord, I could harmonize it as a 9th chord, or I could just keep my minor 7 shape and let my index finger harmonize it. Like that. Or there's more than one way to skin a cat, and a lot of it has to do with how fast the tune is, how fast you want to play your lick, the phrasing, so forth. The next part of the lick goes to the 4th degree of the scale, which is a D, so therefore a diminished chord. And then it goes all the way up to an F sharp, which is the 6th again. So you can harmonize that as like a 13th chord or diminished chord. I don't like sliding the diminished to a diminished. So I'm doing a kind of tricky thing. I'm sliding up and then halfway I'm turning it into, well, it's actually a major 7 shape. But what I'm thinking of is like a D9, not a D9, my mistake, an A13 chord. The thing that Wes often does is if he's putting the 13th extension on a 9th chord out of this shape, he will do a sus again, so you get this. You get that? So that's what I'm doing. I go, and as I'm sliding up, I apply pressure, and you can hear the notes sliding in. So far we have this. Now the next part of the melody goes tonic, major 7 as a passing note to flat 7. So I harmonize it with the 9th chord. Good old rockabilly 9th, which is 17 on the D, 16 on the G, 14 on the B, and 17 on the high E. Then to a diminished shape, pinky stays on the string, and then I go to another 9th chord harmonizing the dominant 7th. So I get 14 D, 16 G, 14 on the B, and then 15 on the high E. That's the first phrase done. That's a lick in itself. Well, it's actually several licks. Then we continue to this next part where we have cool bebop line. Guys like Joe Pass use that idea a lot. We go back to this nice 13th suspended chord that we played previously. Then we're going to slide down into the regular A9 shape that we would have, which is 11 on the D and then 12 G, B, E. Then we're going to go into a diminished shape, which is sliding diminished 11th fret pinky down to 10. And then this next part, because it's quite quick, we're going to take this whole shape with one strum. So we go. So the pinky's going 11, 10, 6, 9, and then resolution is going to be on a new chord at the 7th fret. So that's a little bit tricky. You have to have quite a bit of finger pressure to maintain the note. So we have, and you want that to be smooth, as if you're with your fingers. The last chord that we end on that phrase is a 9th chord. Remember, the 9th can be harmonized with a diminished chord, but we've just had 4 diminished chord melody note harmonizations, so it would be too much. And I want a resolution there, so I harmonize it on an A9, which is just like the top half of a regular A7 chord, but with the 9th here. Now we get the last part. So this part here, I'm going to go, starts on the 13th again. So I'm going to play with a diminished chord. I'm going to slide up to the 7th. Now technically speaking, we don't harmonize the 7th with the diminished chord, but because this is quite fast and moving, it's cool to take the diminished chord onto that note. It's just a gesture. You can hear the movement in the harmony. Like that. Then we go up to the 4th again, which is a diminished chord that we harmonize, because it's implying the 5th. All that kind of cool stuff. Then we go back to the 13, which we're going to do with the diminished chord. And now we're moving down chromatically. 13, then going down to like flat 6 or flat 13 to 5. So when we get to the 6th fret of the B string, which is an F, the flat 13 note, we're going to harmonize a half diminished chord, the very same chord we started with. Slide down, so we get this. So that. And then we have this cool bebop enclosure. So I'm going to harmonize that with a very sort of swing style chord. 7th fret low E string, 6th fret G, ring finger on the 7th fret of the G, and I'm going to pluck that or strum it. Slide that down to the 4th and 3rd frets, which is just an inversion, because it's a diminished chord essentially. And then I move it up a semitone, and then we get our regular A7 at the end. So I'm going to play this lick slowly so you can see the movement. So we get. It can be played in any key. All those concepts can be played in any key. You might run out of frets if you want to try and play it in, say, E, and it probably can't really go too much lower than G or A flat. So you're kind of locked into a few different keys, but those ideas you can then strip away and play in all keys. But it's the concepts that I really want to talk through so that you understand them. If you've got any questions, please send me a message. Please hit the subscribe button and the bell. I'll be doing plenty more videos on any topic that you guys want to know about. Country music, blues, bluegrass, jazz, western swing, rock, you name it. I love it all. It's all good. Please find me on Instagram at the Reverend Dr. Z, the Rev Dr. Z. And also at my Facebook page, we have a little bit of a forum going on there where people can discuss this stuff and gear and just, cool muso guitar stuff. So thank you so much, and I'll see you guys next time.